Sonny came home, Sean Colvin, 14 minutes past 11. Good morning, Malaysia. And today, I'm sure you know on our social media, we have an interview feature of the day, and it's going to be with professional technologist Dr. Nurhidayah Hamzah. She's the head of Graduate Studies, Institute of Graduate Studies, IPSis, and senior lecturer of Faculty of Civil Engineering, UiTM Shah Alam. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming to the studio today.
Thank you, Otto.
And you've been, 17 years already?
Yes, I did just in UiTM since
Shah Alam.
2008. Yeah.
My goodness. So time flies, right?
Definitely.
And you've been, since 2008. So thank you very much for coming to the studio. We're talking about planetary health matters, protecting nature, protecting us. Now, for those who are online, we are currently live on TikTok as well as on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to have a question in, you can drop us a message over there and then we'll get to it. Yeah. In the meantime, of course, today our topic is planetary health and matters, protecting nature and protecting us. Planetary health reminds us of the health of people and also the health of our planet are deeply connected. So when our air, water, forests and ecosystems suffer, so do we. So anyway, to begin, what exactly is planetary health and how is it different from simply talking about environmental protection, Doctor?
All right. Okay. So people ask me a lot about what is planetary health and what is different with environmental protections. So planetary health basically has a relationship between human health and Earth's natural system like climate, oceans, forests, and biodiversity. So while environmental protection, so we know that how we're going to protect the environment. So it's more on conserving natures, okay, for the nature's sakes. So when talking about planetary health, so we will ask what happened to us when this system breakdowns. So planetary health is more on integrated view. So we put human well-being at the center of the environmental conversation.
That's great. And in my own personal note, I do believe that the environment doesn't need protecting. It's the human beings that need protecting.
Yes.
Nature can take care of itself.
Definitely.
But anyway, why has planetary health become one of the most important discussions today? And why should Malaysians actually pay attention to it?
Okay, so this topic is been discussed a long time ago, and it's become hotter right now. It's because we feel the impact, like climate change, pandemics, food insecurity. So those are connected, and it's accelerating. So you know that Malaysia is the most biodiverse regions, like our rainforest, like our rivers, coastline, is directly support our food system. So when those are threatened, so are we. So this conversation is not just for scientists, it's for all Malaysians.
And speaking of rainforests, we have the oldest, one of the oldest tropical rainforests in the world. Yeah. And it's very comforting to know that we are living in it.
Yes.
But I'm not sure why are we just cutting things off and plus, we're not only part of this ecosystem, the world also is part of it. And looking at the latest news, like yesterday, France is experiencing the hottest heat wave, or Europe, for example, is experiencing the hottest heat wave in many, many years. At 40 degrees Celsius above? I mean, that's crazy. That's very hot.
That's climate change. We experience it right now. It's been a long time ago.
Exactly. Is it normal to have experienced this climate change, or is it because of our,
There's the impact of our human activities, basically.
We sped it up.
Yes, we speed it up.
So it means that it can happen again, but because of human activity, we sped up the climate change into global warming and all this.
Yes.
I see. So because of us. Okay. Anyway, many people think that environmental issues only affect wildlife. So how do, climate change, pollution, and also biodiversity loss directly impact our health and daily lives?
Okay, I would like to bring down the memory lane. So remember that we used to have emergency due to haze.
Yeah.
We have the air pollution index is higher than 500.
Yes.
And then become hazardous. And we have to shut down the school. Everybody need to wear masks, limit the outside activities. I think it's around 2015 before the COVID.
Yeah.
That's the effect of the poor air quality. So there's a direct impact to the respiratory disease like pneumonia. Okay, and then we have, for example, for global warming. So we just wider spread of the dengue mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then rivers, when it's polluted, it will directly affect our fish that we eat, because fish has no more zooplankton or plankton that the things that the fish eats.
Yeah.
Okay, will eventually die. And also the water that we drink definitely will affect directly on that. Okay, so and also this is not just about the polar bears. It's just right on our doorstep.
And looking at our TikTok live, good morning. I would like to say to those who are online, Nana online, we have Najib Nawi. Who else do we have? Those who are online, thank you so much for sharing. And, join the conversation if you want to. Make sure you leave a message down there. And if you have any questions for the good doctor here today, we're talking about planetary health matters, protecting nature, protecting us. Because it's not only us that we need protecting, we need to protect nature as well. Because the things that happen around the world is collective. That means it's not only us. We have the entire world that we need to actually tell them, it's not only, we're not living in an isolation or silo because it's the whole world. So if we do our part and manage to, I would like to use this word, infect others like a virus, then this whole world will be much more better to live in as well. All right. So thank you very much for those who are online. And we're talking to professional technologist, Dr. Nurhidayah Hamzah. She's the head of Graduate Studies, Institute of Graduate Studies, IPSis, and senior lecturer of Faculty of Civil Engineering, UiTM, Shah. So we're going to go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll delve deeper in today's little topic, so don't go anywhere. Leaving you with Lenny Kravitz, again, right here on Tracks. Lenny Kravitz, again, 24 minutes past 11, 30th of June. Otto here with you on Tracks Midday Buzz. We'll be with you up till 3 p.m. today. And in the studios right now, we have professional technologist, Dr. Nurhidayah Hamzah, Head of Graduate Studies, Institute of Graduate Studies, IPSis, and Senior Lecturer, Faculty of Civil Engineering, UiTM, Shah Alam. So once again, thank you very much, Doctor, for coming to the studio and taking off your busy schedule just to be with us to explain planetary health matters, protecting nature and protecting us. So as a civil engineering academic, right, what role does sustainable infrastructure play in protecting both people and the planet?
All right, so when talking about sustainable, so there are 3 pillars, 3P.
Mm.
First is planet, profit, and people.
Okay.
Okay, so this is interconnected. So
Okay.
when we go to the civil engineering teams, so the infrastructure is the backbone of how we live, like roads, buildings, drainage, water treatment. So if you have poor design, it will contribute to the flooding, urban heat island, pollutions. And the sustainable infrastructure works with nature, we're not against it. So we have to protect whenever that you try to design something, you have to think about how you're going to sustain it.
Is that what you teach in your classes?
Yes, I teach environmental engineering and sustainability. So just like teaching the awareness, how, the sources, and also contribute to how you're going to, when you design something, how you're going to make it sustainable in terms of the materials and then what the impact to the environment. So you have to think that ahead before you start to design anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And when it comes to monetary issues as well, in the real world out there, I mean, do you think it's possible for us to, have this kind of sustainable environment, sustainable infrastructure in Malaysia? There is currently, right?
Yes,
But
currently.
it's not widely used currently, but how do you think would be the best response to actually attract more investors into sustainable living? Is it happening right now?
Yeah, it is happening right now because we, I think in the industry right now, especially in the developer, so they are trying to have the green building certificates, so they will attract more investors. So for those who have that certificate for that green building, so we can have more investor coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to building as a civil engineer, is it much more difficult to have an old building and make it sustainable, or build an entirely new one? Which do you think is much more easier?
It depends. I would say that it will be easier if you just sustain the old buildings, but there's a pro and cons.
Okay.
And when you start to a new one, there's a pro and cons. But in terms of maintaining is the new one is much easier compared to the old one because of the structure, because of the materials. There's so many things that you have to touch up. Everything.
So speaking about so many things, right? There's many people in play. Who normally comprises in that boardroom to build an infrastructure? I'm quite sure you have like the town planners.
Town planners.
Who else are involved in
architecture,
this? Architecture, okay.
Civil engineers, M&E engineers, and as well as from the environmental department. So you have to look into what's happening before, during, and after the construction.
Even the land authority as well needs to be there before you build anything.
Anything. The developer need to be there.
So there are a lot of people, lots of minds
Yeah.
in one boardroom talking about a single building. It takes a lot of time, right?
Definitely.
My goodness. Okay. We are currently live on TikTok, Facebook, and also YouTube. So if you have any questions for our guest here today, please do leave a message down there and then we'll get to it. For now, I see Nawi has a question, but we'll get to it in just a bit. All right. Thank you very much. Now, Malaysia has experienced floods, haze, and extreme heat in recent years. So what lessons can we learn from these events through the lens of planetary health?
Yeah, previously, like flooding is a natural things, but currently it's not a purely natural disaster. So it's reflect years of poor decision.
Okay.
Right. So
can I expand on that?
Yeah.
What do you mean by poor decision?
Okay, poor decision means that land clearing, inadequate urban planning, unsustainable practice. So this increase the vulnerability. Yeah. So it's a forest wetlands that which act as a natural buffer. So when it's been degraded, so we suffer more.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
Is it a lost cause, or is it more like it can be salvaged? Kuala Lumpur city center. What do you think as a civil engineer?
As a civil engineer, so in the environmental perspective, okay, so flooding, or we call it as a flash flood. In Kuala Lumpur, it's called a flash flood, not flooding, because it's happened just
in a flash.
In the flash, yes,
seconds.
in a few seconds,
Yeah.
and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the impact is massive. So currently we are doing a awareness program about the flooding to the people nearby in Kuala Lumpur about the system that we call is a what do you call it? It's a praban. It's like a siren.
Okay.
Like a siren. So we just give awareness to them about this flash flood.
So do you think this might happen again, or is that just a
It
precaution
will
measure?
happen. It will happen as long as because we are developing country in Kuala Lumpur, especially we can see that the bill rise up and so on. So I'm not saying it's a poor planning, but I would say that it's more like
It needs to be upgraded in a way.
when you're trying to make something, so we have to think about the future.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Universities are shaping tomorrow's leaders, of course. And how is UiTM preparing students and researchers to contribute to planetary health solutions, in your opinion, Doctor?
All right. So basically, nowadays, okay, so in any subject, so we already embedded the sustainability into research and academic programs. So anything that you do, assignment, project, we must include the SDG. So we have 16 SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. So just choose one of the SDG to become a sustainable solution. All right.
So have you seen any of those? Is it a law now to actually add that sustainable solution in building an infrastructure?
It's not compulsory, but it's
An added value?
yes, it's added value.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
For IPSis, we just last Saturday, okay, for the UiTM Postgrad Society. So we together with IPSis. So we just like the events of the planetary health to give the awareness to public. So we have a coloring. So it just happened last Saturday.
I see. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
And do you think these kinds of events actually help out in the awareness?
Yes. So the first thing first is the awareness. Then from the awareness, then we go to action. Then we go for the vision of the planetary health.
Speaking of awareness, our generation to previous ones as well, do you think there's any improvement in terms of this?
Yes, because we're living in a social media. So it's spread even faster compared to previously. So but it's just like they were more like, for example, bring a tumbler instead of the plastic bottle. Yeah, so it's become like a hype right now. So it's one of the action that we can do to save the environment.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, for business and industries, what practical changes can make the biggest difference without compromising economic growth, do you think?
All right, so sustainability and academic growth is not mutually exclusive, and it will start with the proper environmental impact assessment. So I think it's before anything that you do, any construction in civil engineering perspective, you must do a EIA, environmental impact assessment, okay, of operations. So you have reducing energy, managing waste, and sustainable resourcing, and this cuts costs over time. And also, as I mentioned before, the green certifications open doors for international markets. Okay, and so you need to shift the mindset, from short-term profit to long-term resilience.
Now, how far along are we talking about? Let's say you're planning to build, let's say, a structure, a building, right? But how far along are we looking at when you plan this out, this kind of building, a sustainable building? How far along?
Well, it must be...
Is there like any standard, like, okay, this building can last another 100 years, I think, yeah. And the sustainable development around it can last more than 100 years, those kind of things. Do you plan that far ahead when it comes to buildings?
Yes. For example, okay, we're doing some a drainage system.
Okay.
So we will forecast for 100 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so as long as there's no, we also include the climate change factors and also the town planning factors. So we forecast for 100 years.
Nice. All right. We're going to go for another short break. And when we come back, we're going to look at some of the questions that have been posted on our TikTok account, Facebook, and also YouTube. So once again, if you have any questions for our good doctor here today, please do so. Leave a message down there and we'll get to it in the meantime. All right. So yeah, we're going to go for a short break. And when we come back, we'll talk more about the individual level. How far have we come along in terms of sustainable development right here on TRAXXfm? So for now, Blessed Union of Souls, I believe, right here on Trax. Good morning, Malaysia. Blessed union of souls, I believe. 39 minutes past 11. Good morning, Malaysia. Otto here, coming to you live from Angkasa Puri, Kuala Lumpur, with the interview feature of the day. Professional technologist Dr. Nurhidayah Hamzah. She's the head of Graduate Studies, Institute of Graduate Studies, IPSis, and senior lecturer, Faculty of Civil Engineering, UiTM, Shah. We're talking about planetary health matters, protecting nature and protecting us as well. Now, on an individual level, right, what are some simple habits that every Malaysian can adopt to reduce environmental impact while improving personal health, in your opinion, doctor?
All right, a simple habit that we can use, that we can reduce single-use plastics. Okay,
Yep.
for example, use
Like you
tumbler.
said, a tumbler rather
use
than
tumbler
using
rather than use the plastic
plastic, yeah.
bottles.
Mhm.
Okay, and can choose public transport or carpooling. A very simple way.
At LRT3 Shah Alam, it's not free.
UiTM Shah Alam station.
Yeah, it's free
It's
until
free.
31st July.
Yes, 1 month. Okay, you can eat more plant-based meals 3 times a week. It's good for your health. And
That's difficult for most people.
yeah, spend time in nature, but currently it's a hype, like brisk walking.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
hiking and all that.
Hiking, okay, regardless of the controversy,
Mm-hmm.
okay, parks, gardens, okay, and you can also reduce food waste, okay, because of the in landfill, 60% of the food solid waste is food waste.
Food waste.
Yes,
So
60% of the solid waste.
one of the reasons is because we're very hospitable Malaysians. Every time somebody comes to Malaysia, we're like, "Dah makan?" That's the first thing we
Yes.
always ask, right? So
Yeah.
that's where the waste comes from. Maybe we shouldn't ask that. We should say, "Apa khabar?" or "How are you?" rather than "Dah makan?"
Yes.
Well, anyway, question on our TikTok. Now we ask when it comes to disposing electronic game consoles and all that. So how would one proper dispose electronic game consoles and all that, in your opinion?
So, in my opinion, okay, there are few center that receive or accept the e-waste, like DOE, or you may check with the SW Corp, and maybe any other recycle center also accept the e-waste. I think that will be a good start.
And looking at some of the data that I have, since we're moving towards data centers, becoming more electronic-based country as well, we are seeing a lot of, I would say, a tsunami influx of electronic disposals, because in a year we can dispose about 12 kilograms of electronic waste, from batteries to what do you call this? Even mobile phones as well, car batteries as well, and all that. So, in your opinion, why hasn't it boomed in terms of this? What's the reason? It's kind of difficult. You have to find a center. There's only about 140
Yes,
registered e-waste disposable recovery centers or premises in the country. That's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough for the whole countries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the first things is this is considered as a emerging waste. Okay, e-waste is considered as a new. Okay, so we don't have that regulation or legislation, or maybe has, but it's a weak one. Okay, we have to strengthen that first, and then from there we know what to do. The SOP.
Now, how many percentage would you think that it affects our environment here in Malaysia as a civil engineering focus on environment? Do you think electronic devices are kind of impacting Malaysia in a way?
Yes, because most of the e-waste has a chemical hazardous waste. Okay, so this chemical will eventually go to our system, like water system and environment system. So when there's a lot of pollutants, there's a lot of cost to treat them. Yeah, so I think it is equally increasing. As it increase, and also the cost will increase.
Even with plastic waste as well, because plastic, for example, a water bottle plastic, how to discard it or dispose of it requires a different kind of level of treatment.
Yes.
As opposed to what do you call this plastic that you bring along, this carry along. It takes a different kind of treatment as well, and different cost. So I think it's not only us it's not only about one certain plastic we have to look into, but it takes a lot of effort on many people's part to actually recycle and dispose of electronic devices properly. But back to the question at hand. Looking ahead, what innovations or research areas give you hope that we can build a healthier and more sustainable future?
All right. So considering right now, okay, we has a lot of waste.
Yes.
Solid waste and so on.
Like you said, 60% mostly food.
Currently, we are having a durian feast.
Oh, yes.
Durian
1
feast.
ringgit, my goodness.
Okay, 1 ringgit per kilo, right? Okay. So those waste, where to go? Definitely go to the landfill straight away. Okay, so my current research is more on how we're going to take this waste into something else. Okay, so it's kind of like a circular economy. So what I did with my research team is I just make a durian extract plus with the green tea and make it as a nanoparticles.
Nanoparticle.
Yes, the nanoparticles
does
are
that happen?
very small things.
Okay.
That's has a very active agent, very reactive, meaning that they can absorb iron.
Okay.
Okay, absorb iron. So the iron, especially from to the oil and gas industry.
Oh,
Oil and gas industry, mostly the pipeline is corrosive.
okay.
So they use a bleaching or cleaning solution,
Chemical
just
solutions.
to wipe all the corrosions.
Okay.
Okay, so that's content iron. The corrosion is iron. Okay, and then it go to the wastewater, and then go to the treatment a little bit. Okay, but sometimes it somehow go to the straight
River.
to the effluent to the river. So it's still there. Okay, so what we did is the nanoparticles will absorb the iron and leave the catalyst, the solution. So the solution can be reused.
Ah.
Yeah. So the absorption, the nanoparticle with the iron absorbent, then we can use as a fertilizer, because the plantation require iron and also zinc as the essential nutrient to growth.
And that's only one solution. And how long does it actually take for you to do this research? Or has this been like going on for some time, but it's shelved?
Yeah, it's quite sometimes. I started 2 months ago. 2 months ago, and it's going on right now.
So you can use durian
Yes, durian
And?
waste and green tea.
and green tea.
The green tea because we want to have the antibacterial effect. Yeah.
And change it into a particle where it absorbs iron.
Yes.
And you can use whatever left of the solution to the what? For what use again?
The cleaning solution.
Cleaning solution.
Yeah, we separate the cleaning solution by using a membrane embedded with the nanoparticles.
Now that we know, it's a business idea already. Okay, so finally, if there's one message you'd like to give out there to our listeners and to everyone on social media as well, what planetary health would you advise people now?
All right, so one message. Okay, just protecting the planet, meaning that you're protecting yourself. Okay, and no abstract, no distance. It's your air, your water, your food, your children's future. So solutions often directly improve our lives, like cleaner air, healthier lungs, more stable food. So we're not asking about the sacrifice, but we need to live better.
That's nice. So before we wrap up, Dr. Nurhidayah, I'd like to ask one final question. Could you share with our listeners what you're working currently on, and are any exciting research projects or community initiatives or collaborations or upcoming programs related to planetary health that you're involved in? And how can the public, students, or even organizations be part of this effort?
All right. So currently I am in the RIG. It's a research interest group. So this research interest group, so not only the sustainable environment, but also focus on the flooding and also how to rehabilitate the environment. Okay, that will be our RIG. Okay, and currently, as I mentioned before, we're doing the nanoparticles. But beside that, we're also making a biofuel from the microalgae. Okay, you can see the microalgae. If you've been to the Eco Ardens,
Okay.
the parking lot, okay, there's a massive tube, the green one.
Okay.
So they
Absorb,
they grow microalgae there.
Okay.
Because microalgae is a plant.
Yes.
So it need oxygen and also need the sunlight.
Okay.
Okay. So they grow the microalgae and then we just make it biofuel from the microalgae.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is currently what we are doing.
nice. All right, so we're talking to professional technologist Dr. Nurhidayah Hamzah, Head of Graduate Studies, Institute of Graduate Studies, IPSis, and Senior Lecturer at the Faculty of Civil Engineering, UiTM, Shah Alam. So once again, thank you very much for coming to the studio and enlightening us on today's topic with regards to planetary health matters. And for those who are online as well, thank you so much for joining live on Facebook, on TikTok, and also on YouTube. Thank you very much for your questions and hearts and likes and loves and shares. We'll be back with more stories right here, right after the news at 12. So don't go anywhere. So once again, thank you very much for joining us today, Doctor, and all the best in your endeavors in the future.
Thank you so much, Otto.